one of the superstition, but Cambodian people still talking about this one too. After we have dreamed about snake to bite, this belief, it means that we are going to get very soon. After we have a dream from last night about snake, we believe that we are going to sell Khmer noodle, or we call Nong Bai Chok. The local name Nong Bai Chok, Khmer noodle. They eat with the chicken curry. This is a popular one and that spot on the way to one of these three temples. So a lot of people come to. That is the harvest time in November or December. And the farmer also depend on the carols. They work in the field. They still use the less everyone that the yellow one. Those kind of spirit house. So every house in Cambodia, after they build a new one, they have to buy one of those to put in front of the house. Offering to the God of land, we call a spirit house. Offering to God of land to ask the good luck after we build a new house in that.
Đại chiêu thì bỏ.
Thế thật thiệp ca đau tiết.
Nó.
Thiệp cài nó. Thôi anh ơi.
Thôi chọc đạn đi tiết. Anh ơi, chọc đạn đi sân. Ca tê ở đây rồi.
What sort of tree is this one? The Pudila.
This custard apple.
Spring. Anh khoai đi nên khoai. Khoai spring. Khoai này.
We never had any original picture of the temple because after we discover most of the temple already collapsed down. They just try to imagine how the original looked like. That's the way they. This one called Srasrang. Srasrang is the royal bathing pool. There's the temple in the middle. See that the temples, but that is the new building after we built. From the pandemic times around 3 or 4 years ago, that the new building after rebuilt in the middle of the lake. This is the man-made lake built in the 12th century by the king Jayavarman VII as well. That there's the temple in the middle where the people could go to pray pray for Buddha or meditation, the meditation place right in the temples. And doing excavation work, and in here they found a lot of statues, the Buddha statues, the Hindu gods, symbolic of the Shiva god, something like this, and there. Demon and Angkor National Museum between the God and Demon. So they just took from here. Right? That is the moat around Angkor Thom, the man-made. Like Angkor Wat, that's the man-made moat around the temples, and this is the man-made moat around the city wall. But some part, no water is dry up. According to the inscription, it said that around when we see a different thing, the temples, Hindu temples, Buddhist temple built by different king, and also we can see the terrace. So the one at the end, right inside, that called terrace of the leper king, and the one here we call the terrace of the elephants. Because when you look at on the wall, you can see too many elephants. That's why they call terrace of the elephants. And the one called Leper King Terrace, after they found the statues on the terrace, they thought that is the king. And the statues without any finger and toe. That's why they could choose that the king died from leprosy disease. That's why they call Leper King Terrace. And also the king resident, the former king resident inside here too. But it built from wood. That's why now we can't see it. It already is gone. And what we can see in Angkor Thom, and everybody come here for, that is the main temples we call Bayan, the one on the left. We will stop now, and then we walk. In the evening, after they finish the tour, they just leaving the hotel to restaurant or to the show, dinner show, the circus, and different activity at night. The pub street, night market, something like that. So now, the beginning, the end of the peak season and beginning of the low season, and also the rain is coming soon in May. But normally in May we already have some rain, a little rain. And
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ
10 meter dip in the wet season, 1 meter in the dry season. So the total area of the lake we can divide into two parts. 55% is forest land. 45% is agricultural land. And the fish that Cambodian people depend on this lake and the fishermen can catch yearly 500,000 tons. Half the amount of the fish compared to Mekong River. And how many totally different species of the fish living in this lake? 149 different. 11 under globally endangered. One of the giant catfish from Mekong River living in this lake, biodiversity. So this is one of the 4 floating villages in Siem Reap called Chong Khni floating village. The people all together on the water and on the land along the way became around 4,000 people. But when we talk only here, around 1,000 people, they are Vietnamese people, illegally. They've been here before Khmer Rouge. After Khmer Rouge, they went back, and then they come back after Khmer Rouge 1979 until now. All of them depend on physics. They catch the fish and then supply Cambodian market. That is the only one income for everybody here. They can survive. For a year, they do not stay here for 1 year round. There are 2 different locations in the wet season and dry season. The dry season, they're living around this location. Wet season, they all move back along the way to camp food. Because here, too deep. It's dangerous for the people living around here. That's why they try to find the safe place in the lower part. In the park, here, they have a church here, and also they have a school. This is a church, and the yellow one on the right hand side, they have put it together. They have a school too. The green one on the back, I will show you the school, that they go to school. They send their kids to school as well. They learn Cambodian language and Vietnamese language. And at night, a problem for the water coming this lake for around 5 years ago because that Mekong from upstream, Lao government gave a license to a Chinese company to build a dam for electricity. That's why the water coming down in good price before COVID. that market is sent to China. So before COVID, they can one between 800 to $1,000 for big one. That is skin. And the baby, after the breeder, they can sell one baby $30 US. But now this price